Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Sea of Thieves. I played it on the Xbox One because it's available on that and the PC. But it does have crossplay between those two, which is pretty cool. I point that out because the random crew that I ended up working with continually was a group of PC players. Okay, so there is zero story to this game whatsoever, so we could just skip right past that and go on to the audio. So the sound effects are really good in this game, from the gunshots to the sword fighting, etc., the cannons firing, just the ocean in general, the sound effects in general. They're well done and I really enjoyed them. They added to the experience. Musically, there's not a ton of music going on unless you are playing the music. You have an accordion and another instrument, I don't know what the hell it's called, but you have instruments and you can play them. But here's a cool thing. If all four of the crewmates are playing the instruments, they'll actually start playing the same song and pick up in the right place, so you'll have four people playing the same song. It's kind of cool. There are sadly no sea shanties to be sung. Now, as for the gameplay, this is where the game shines and falls apart all at once, which is not that surprising. That's true of a lot of games. Where it shines, crewing a ship is awesome. Honestly, I thought it'd be kind of stupid, but all the different little things you do on a ship, it's a lot of fun. And you can play with different ships. There's two different ships, specifically one if you just want to roll by yourself or with a partner, or there's a larger ship if you want a full four-man crew. But there's all the little things. There's steering the ship, there's guiding from the map room, which the guy steering the ship, he doesn't know where the fuck anyone is going without somebody guiding from the map room and giving him check-ins pretty regularly. But then you also have to readjust the sails, like not just raise or lower them, but adjust their positioning to catch the wind at the best, man the cannons, repair the ship. There's all sorts of stuff like that going on. Also, I want to point out that in my gameplay, there's not a ton of action because 90% of the game is sitting around on a ship, going from place to place, and occasionally like doing the stuff you need to do to make sure the ship is going maximum speed, slow enough to turn, etc. But also, a lot of my footage is from when I started the game and didn't fully know what the hell I was doing at all times. Which that leads me to a complaint with this game. There is not much of a tutorial. The tutorial kind of sucks a dick. And it's not really forced upon you, which it should be, because I ended up just jumping onto a fucking ship and having no clue what I was doing. Fortunately, I got thrown in the brig and got pissed off and left, and I joined another game where I met some dudes who were actually awesome and willing to teach me what the hell I needed to be doing. Now, I did say the gameplay is also where this game falls apart, and that's very true because there's not a lot to do in this game. It's a very grindy game. You have three factions that you can progress with by doing the same missions over and over and over. And what do you get from progressing? New titles and the ability to buy better missions and the ability to buy better gear. Problem with that, the better missions are just more complicated missions doing the same shit over and over and over. And the better gear does nothing to improve your character, it's purely cosmetic. You can buy cosmetic shit for your ship or your character. You can buy cosmetic things for your weapons, your bucket for bailing out the ship, your guns. Does it actually matter? Does it actually affect your ability to bail? Does it actually affect the damage you do with your weapons? No. Admittedly, there are a couple of other activities you can involve yourself in, like tracking down other ships and, you know, getting into naval battles, and that's a lot of fun, honestly. That was the most fun I had in the game. There's also a raid you can do when you see this giant cloud skull in the sky. You can go and do that. That's pretty fun. But again, that's about it. There's a total of like 5 activities, and then it gets really old really fast. I'll also point out, because I kind of mentioned it earlier, this is an online game. It's purely online. While you can roll solo if you want to, you're not gonna have a very good time doing that. If you can get a decent crew, it can be a lot of fun, but I spent way too much time in brigs trying to play with randos. So onto the controls. The controls, this game does very well. The controls are excellent in this game. I had no complaints with aiming, fighting, any of the things I was really doing. Lastly, the graphics. It has its own kind of cartoony-ish art style, but you kind of forget about it. You kind of get engrossed in the world, and man, it's actually really beautiful. The ocean is stunning in this game. It's really cool seeing the different like lighting effects, etc. when you're sailing, but the way the waves move affect the way the water really looks, and it'll look lighter in some ways, darker other times. It's really amazing and kind of hypnotizing. The ships themselves look really cool too. There's a decent amount of detail. Overall, I didn't have any complaints with the way this game looked. I really liked the art style and, you know, it was clean looking. So my overall on this game is the complete lack of story is kind of shit, but I can get over it. The thing I can't get over is this is a full price game and there's not even half a full price game's content. Once you've done the 5 things you've done about a dozen times each, you're just kind of like, oh, fuck, what else is there to do? And the problem is, there really isn't anything else to do. Yes, I did not mention the Kraken because I never personally ran into it. The most fun I had was, you know, my crew and I going into battle with other ships, but overall, that doesn't really help you progress unless they're loaded with loot. But that being said, it just gets boring. So honestly, this game is a wait. I would wait and see, because A, the DLC, if there is any DLC coming, needs to be completely free, because this is a full price game with nowhere near the content to warrant that price. And there's nothing to do, so it's not worth investing in right now, because, well, you'll get tired of it within a week. Okay, so in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you're a fan of the Goonies? Yes, I'm going there. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.